Class 3, Chapter 8. Let's walk along the soil. How beautiful is our earth! How lucky to be born in this soil. Trees, houses, holding their heads high in the soil. Butterflies buzzing to suck sweet honey. Farmers toiling hard to reap gold from the soil. Numerous creatures crying out, "This land is ours too." Let us play in the soil and grow joyfully, sensing the smell of the soil. Let us try to know more about the soil. Unnikutan and Manikutti were playing making mud buns in coconut shells. While filling the coconut shell with mud, Unnikutan saw a tiny creature in the mud. He shouted in fear, "Mom, a snake!" His mother came running. "Shame, Unnikuta, that's an earthworm, a poor creature of the soil." "Does it bite?" Manikutti raised a doubt. "No, never. It's a little creature that helps us." Mother's words were a relief to Unnikutan and Manikutti. "Friends, I'm an earthworm. Don't I look like a small snake? But don't be afraid of me. As my name suggests, I live in the soil. I move by making small holes in moist soil. We move at least 70 times up and down in the soil in a day. Thus, we make small burrows in the soil. This increases the passage of air through soil. Our food is soil. The soil we excrete is a good manure. It may be because we keep tilling the soil day and night that we are called friends of farmers. How happy we are to be addressed this way. However, the chemical fertilizers and pesticides used for agriculture today have put our lives in danger. Do you know how much we suffer due to the plastic waste thrown away by you to the soil? Question number 1. Didn't you read the earthworm's letter? Question number 2. Which are the other creatures you have seen in the soil? You may have seen earthworms, millipedes, centipedes, different bugs, etc. in the soil. A voyage through nature. Observe the soil and the creatures living in it in your premises. Identify the creatures in the soil. Remember to find out the plants growing in your school premises too. Let us complete the table. Creatures: earthworm, termites, antlion. Plants: tumba, totavadi, coconut palm. How many are the creatures and plants in the soil? There may be even more creatures and plants that we haven't noticed. Many microorganisms invisible to the naked eyes also live in the soil. We also live in this soil where there are numerous known and unknown creatures and plants. How was the soil around us formed? Unnikutan also had this doubt. Manikutti rubbed two stones together and collected the soil particles that fell down on a piece of paper kept below. Look, Unnikuta, don't these stone particles look like the soil particles around us? So, do stones break into smaller particles to form soil? Unnikutan asked. Yes, stones and rocks break into smaller particles to form soil. Teacher taught me so. Formation of the soil. Soil is formed by the breaking down of stones and rocks. They break due to the sun's heat, wind, rain, and friction. This does not happen in a day or two, but in several years. Similarly, in several years, the soil hardens and forms rocks. When his father came in the evening, Unnikutan asked, "Father, when we went to Appuchetan's house, we saw red soil there, and at the seashore, we saw fine sand. Why is it so?" His father smiled and replied, "All the soil that we see around us is not of the same kind. We can see some differences." Soil. What type of soil is found in your locality? Is the soil in your locality the same as the soil in different places you see when you travel? Soil is of different types. Soil can be classified into alluvial soil, sand, red soil, clay, and black soil. Alluvial soil is the top soil that is carried away by water and sedimented or deposited at a place. Sand is mainly made up of tiny granules. Soil in red color is red soil. Clay soil is soil that is sticky. Black soil is seen as black granules. Collect different types of soil and prepare an album. First one, alluvial soil. Second, black soil. Third, red soil. Then sand, silt and clay. Unnikutta, Amma is calling. Now let's play after the food. My hands are dirty. Look, Manikutti, how is that so much of dirt comes from the soil? The dirt is formed from soil and other things in the soil. Composition of the soil. Friends, what is the composition of the topsoil? Don't you want to know what the soil is made up of? Let us try a simple experiment. Experiment finding the composition of the soil. Collect soil from various places like the area around the well in your school, the schoolyard, area around a tree, and the playground. See that you take the same quantity of soil from all these places. Put them in different glasses. Pour water and stir well. Keep them still for some time. What all do you see, dear friends? Write down the experiment note in the environment diary. After some time, you will get something like this. The soil will separate into different layers: humus, water, clay, sand, gravel. You might have seen soil settling down at the bottom of the glass. What else do you see apart from soil? Aren't there certain other particles floating on the surface of the water in the glass? Is the amount of particles in the soil taken from all four areas the same? In which soil were the other particles in greater quantity? What are the things you could see in the soil? Dry crumbled leaves, crumbled twigs, tiny creatures, pieces of paper, small rocks. Most of such particles that collect on topsoil decay and break down in the soil and making it fertile. Plants grow very well in this soil. Such fertile soil is the best for cultivation. Manikutti, the soil has absorbed all the water I poured out for this plant. Will the plant get at least some? Unnikuta, isn't the soil dried by the heat of the sun? It would also be thirsty. It is the water in the soil that a plant absorbs through its roots. Soil and water. Do all types of soil hold water in the same quantity? Prepare yourself for next experiment. present in mud blocks too. When the mud block falls into water, water percolates into it. As a result, the air in the mud block does not have space to remain there. It comes out in the form of bubbles. Isn't your doubt clear now? Place a straw inside the water in the glass and blow through it. Don't bubbles rise upward? Mother, look, all the plants in our vegetable garden are going to fall. The soil beneath the plants has been washed away. All the roots can be seen. Manikuti expressed her grief. So heavy was the rain last night. The topsoil must have been washed away. Mother joined Manikuti. Mother, what is the problem if the topsoil is washed away? Unikutin came forward with his doubts. How can the plant stand firmly if the soil is washed away? It is the fertile topsoil that is required for the growth of the plant, his mother explained. That's right. Mother, our teacher has taught us this too. Manikuti replied. Prevention of soil erosion. What are the harmful effects of soil erosion? Topsoil is washed away. Agriculture is destroyed. During the rainy season, the soil from our yards and premises is often washed away. Soil erosion is greater on slanting land surfaces. All the factors that are required for the growth of plants are present in the topsoil. Thus, soil erosion leads to the destruction of plants. If this is so, shouldn't soil erosion be prevented? Why not try an experiment? Prepare a mud mound in your school premises. Fix grass stalks on one half of the mud mound. Make many holes at the bottom of a metal vessel. Pour water over the mud mound through it. What happens to the soil in the portion where grass stalks are fixed and that in the other portion? The roots of grass and plants prevent soil erosion by holding soil firmly. A lot of soil on the other side gets washed away. Much of the soil is washed away like this during the rainy season. Haven't you seen hill slopes cut into different levels for farming? This not only enables rainwater to seep into the soil but it also prevents soil erosion. When rainwater falls over open land, the soil is loosened and it gets washed away. This sort of erosion can be prevented by planting trees and grass. The roots of trees, plants, grass, etc. grow into the soil and prevent the washing away of soil. Fact: erosion is the process in which water, wind, ice, or gravity pick up soil particles or pieces of rock and move them from one place to another. Look, our father has come. Unnikutan ran to him and took the packet from his hand. Wow, biscuits! He opened the packet and started eating and did not forget to give some to Manikutti too. He threw away its cover to the yard. Dear child, don't throw the plastic cover to the yard. It is harmful if it is left there. Why? What is the problem? Unnikutan had a doubt again. Why is it so bad to throw the wrapper in the yard? Do you act like this? What will happen if this is done? Do not pollute soil. Let us try an activity. Take two pits in the school premises. Put plastic bottles, packets, polyester, cloth pieces, glass pieces, thermocol, etc. Put green leaves, vegetable waste, newspaper pieces, etc. in the second pit and bury them with mud. After a few days, remove the mud and examine both pits. What difference is seen? The objects dumped in the first pit remain without decomposing in the soil. The objects will not undergo any change even if they remain like this for years together. Think of the possible harm if such objects accumulate in soil. However, none of the objects dumped in the second pit can be seen. They have decomposed in the soil as manure. This helps agriculture and the growth of plants. What we can do is to reduce the use of objects like plastic, which do not decompose in the soil, and prevent depositing them in the soil. I will never pollute the soil. What the pen says, friends, all of you know me. I am made of plastic. Most of the people use me, and after use, I am usually thrown away. Suppose every school child in Kerala discards one plastic pen every month. That is 12 in a year. Just imagine our number discarded in a year by 40 lakh children. Oh, terrible. The flower pot vendor came at the doorstep. There were pots of different kinds in her basket. Want a mud pan to make fish curry? Mother came to the yard. I need a flower pot to plant a rose. Manikutti also came there. I too need a small flower pot. Unnikutan joined them. What is the price of a flower pot? Father asked. It's only 70 rupees, sir. Oh, that's too much. Sir, mud is not available now. You know how difficult it is to make these with mud. After buying the required number of pots, Unnikutan stood there with another doubt. Are those pots made of mud? Mud in different forms. What are the products made of mud? Tabulate the objects shown in the picture below into those made of other substances. Objects made of mud. First one, pot. Objects made of other substances. Umbrella. What other objects made of mud have you seen? Several products like Bharani, fire stove, floor tile, curios and toys are made of mud. All kinds of mud are not used for making such objects. Sticky, hard clay is used for this. Objects of different shapes are made of clay, thoroughly mixed with sufficient water. Then they are dried and baked in fire. Is there a pottery unit in your locality? If there is one, try to visit it and find out how pottery is made. Record your observation in the environmental diary. Making structures with mud. Dear friends, try to make different shapes and toys you like by collecting sticky mud from the field. Let us familiarize ourselves with an interesting construction method using mud. Collect empty matchboxes. Fill these matchboxes with mud made into fine paste. Now take out the mud forms from the matchboxes and dry them well in the sun. You will get small mud blocks. Give different colors to the mud blocks using watercolors. You can make many interesting structures using these mud blocks. If there is no soil, plants from grass to huge trees and animals from microorganisms to giant creatures depend on soil for existence, whereas humans depend on animals and plants for their livelihood. So, if there is no soil, the existence of all organisms, including humans, will be in danger. It is our responsibility to protect our soil. No soil, no life. Let us assess. 1. Which among the following is a place possible for soil erosion? A. Place with grass and trees. B. Hill slopes cut into different levels. C. Sloping land without any plants. D. Plain land. 2. Which is the most appropriate soil for plants? A. Powdered rocks. B. Sandy soil. C. The top soil of a place with plants. D. Soil taken out from a deep pit. 3. Which of the objects mentioned below pollute soil? Ball pen, polyester cloth, plastic packets, cotton cloth, leaves, bottles, newspaper, decayed fruits. Extended activities. 1. Prepare posters suggesting instructions to avoid depositing plastic packets in soil and exhibit them in the school premises. 2. Prepare a note after observing ants. 3. Collect stones of different colors in separate groups and grind stones of the same color separately. Draw pictures of flowers on chart paper and fill the pictures with powdered soil using gum. Thank you.